After visiting Mumbai and Delhi, visiting UK Prime Minister David Cameron is today in Amritsar. David Cameron paid his respects at the Jallianwala Bagh, the site of an independence massacre. Cameron is the first British Prime Minister to visit Jallianwala Bagh after 94 years. He has also paid a visit at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. For more on that, we are being joined by senior editor Suhasini Haider. Suhasini, this is clearly the first time that a British Prime Minister has actually gone and visited the Jallianwala Bagh, which is of huge significance to our independence struggle.
Well, absolutely, Priyali. This is a significant visit, and David Cameron, who's been on a visit essentially of bettering ties between India and the UK, seems to have addressed one of the outstanding causes of, if you like, a thorn in relations, and that is the British refusal to acknowledge the killings in the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Remember that some years ago, it was the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, who had visited Amritsar, and when asked if he would go to the Jallianwala Bagh, had spoken about the massacre as somewhat exaggerated and had caused a lot of concern in India. After that, we've seen several British Prime Ministers visit Punjab, visit Amritsar, but not make that point of going to the Jallianwala Bagh. Here we understand Prime Minister David Cameron actually went there and expressed regret, did not give any kind of apology. Perhaps that would have been too much to expect, even though some of the local groups there in Amritsar expressing their protest about the fact that there has been no apology from the British, despite the thousands that died there in Jallianwala Bagh in 1914.
Right, so Asni, so while he was visiting with the biggest business delegation, David Cameron clearly touching an emotional chord there.
Absolutely. Remember that this visit has really been about bringing ties between India and the UK closer. This isn't David Cameron's first visit. In fact, it's his second visit as UK Prime Minister, and certainly he has made a real point of bettering ties with India on this visit. He was also accompanied by a 100-member delegation. He made the point that this was the largest overseas trade delegation ever to accompany a British Prime Minister. He's been reaching out in other ways. Yesterday we saw him speaking to a girls' college, going along with actor Amir Khan over there, and he has made other stops. This is certainly a visit that is as much about the people-to-people ties between the UK and India as it has been about the big-ticket items and his talks with the officials, and particularly over the defense deals. This has been very much about improving trade and, as I said, improving people-to-people ties, and making that announcement about same-day visas, about not having any cap on Indian students coming to the UK. And that's the note David Cameron wants to leave India on. He heads back to the UK today after this visit in Amritsar.
Right. So, Asni, just stay with us, but we are showing our viewers at this moment the visuals of British Prime Minister David Cameron paying condolences to the victims of the 1919 Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So, Asni, you just mentioned the key points, the high points of his visit to India, but really at a time when the Augusta-Westland deal is of prime concern to India and is being investigated in India, UK as well as Italy. David Cameron trying to, reach out to the Indians and trying to strike a positive chord.
Well, absolutely, Priyali. In fact, as you look at those pictures, the fact is that no British Prime Minister has made this point. And to correct myself earlier, it is since 1919 that none of them have tried to reach out really to those who continue in India to feel outraged over the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and the fact that nobody, it's not just about justice, it's about the fact that the British never acknowledged the extent of that massacre, where unarmed protesters were fired upon during the freedom struggle. What he's making, and he's making a distinction here, Priyali, apparently in that visitor's book, really condoling the massacre, even regretting that it had occurred, but not making that apology. As I said, certainly there are enough groups in Punjab who were hoping that there would be, in fact, some sort of an apology as well.
All right, so Asni Haider, thanks for joining us.